guys, it's Shadow the Rat, and today I'm going to do something not so great, for me that is, and reveal to you my rat closet. Oh my gosh, I'm kind of embarrassed about this. Just keep in mind that it's not quite as organized as a lot of other people's stuff, and this is the accumulation of about 16 years of rodent ownership. So here we go. Okay, so this absolutely terrifying place is what I call the rat closet. As you can see, it's right outside where the rat cage is. The rat cage is right here, and then you step right into the closet, which is right here. And the closet's kind of unfinished, but overall it does its job. So, starting on the left, we have on the wall my rat leashes, or I guess harnesses, and I have 5 of those. And then we have my costume hooks. These costume hooks only hold my costumes that I'm currently using for training. I have way more costumes than these, but I don't like to have to get them out if I'm using them for several days, so I like to keep out whichever ones I'm using the most. Then moving down from that, we have some of my wheels. This is a 12-inch flying saucer wheel, this is a 12-inch Katie Comfort wheel, and this is a 12-inch silent spinner wheel. And I also have 2 more of the 12-inch Katie Comfort wheels up there. I actually got 2 of these wheels from a thrift shop. I think it was like 3 years ago, but I just don't use them a ton anymore, so they're just kind of staying out because my rats have a 15-inch wheel, so I just don't really need to put another wheel in the cage right now. But this one is kind of chewed up, so I might get rid of it at some point. Anyways, moving on from that, we have the things that these are situated on. So first of all, this is one of my art drawers. It has some of the rats' painting stuff in it. There's just a ton of painting supplies. Then under that, we have my drawer with extra agility items. You can kind of see from the bottom. One thing you'll notice is I really like clear bins, so I have a ton of clear bins. And then right below that you have my crafting drawer, which just has like a bunch of popsicle sticks in it and stuff like that for me to use with the rats when I'm making their stuff. Then we move on to this, and this here is a set of 3 shelves. First of all, we have this shelf. It has some extra bowls in it. It has some foraging items in it, just that I don't have any other place for. And then it has these, which are my C-clips, and I use these to hang things up in the rat cage. And then right below that, we have my costume shelf. So this costume shelf is all about the themed costumes. So like this is a reindeer costume, it's Christmas themed. This is a ghost costume, it's Halloween themed. So those are all themed costumes. And down here we have the more generic costumes. So I have a banana. Don't even ask me why I have a banana. I have my generic orange costumes, and all my extra hats. So that is the second part of the costume drawer. So moving on, we have these 2 cardboard tubes. I use these for my rats' free range time. And then we have the food cart. This has all my rats' medicine right here that can be left in the open. And then behind it, we have my rats' treat drawer. It just has a bunch of treats in it. Under that, we have all my rats' water bottles, extra water bottles, you can kind of see them. And then up here, we have my rats' Oxbow container, Cheerios, my most common treats, which are these 3, and then also one of my carriers. And in the corner right here, you can see that I have some ladders. This is like my bird ladders, my Critter Nation ladders, and so forth. So moving up, we have these wheels, like I pointed out, but the big attraction here is the foraging shelves. So this has quite a few of my foraging toys. I do have a few other places with foraging toys, but these are some of the most common ones I use, and that's just so I have easy access to them if I want to switch them out, which I do quite a bit. And then down below that we have this little thing, which just has some more crafting supplies. It just has a bunch of pipe cleaners in it, and I use those quite a bit to hang things in the cage. So I just want easy access to it too. Below that we have another of my carriers. This is my cat carrier, which I use for the rats, of course. And this one has a bunch of blankets in it. Just some spare blankets. And moving down, this is kind of a miscellaneous area. It has some buckets. It has this little pink igloo, some of my props, and some bowls. And then the final shelf down here just has a bunch of my hammocks in it. And you will see the second hammock place after this, but this just has a bunch of the more themed hammocks I have, and that's just to give me, again, easy access to them. That's really my theme here. I just want easy access to everything. So, moving up, I'm going to step back so you can kind of see this better. You can see I have my guinea pig cage, which is hardboard cloth, and that is used for the rats during their cage cleans or when I have new rats that I'm quarantining. It's about the size of a single Critter Nation, so it's a really nice cage for a lot of different things. It's also great as a sick cage because it's not very tall, It actually is taller than it looks. It has a domed roof, but that domed roof is currently on my Critter Nation, so I just added in a hardware cloth roof. So it looks a lot shorter than the cage itself is supposed to be. Anyways, moving here, we have a bunch of my hides. This is a bunch of Ratty Box hides and also a few other fabric hides. They're kind of all stuffed in there because I haven't really figured out what to do with them yet while I am storing them. Next to that we have tubes, we have some houses, and we have some of those bendy log bridges, along with some of these little lava ledges and other ledges. So this is kind of another miscellaneous one, but it's mainly things that are reusable in the cage and that I'm just not using currently. Moving down, we have my space pods and Rodney space igloos. Those are all right here. And then we have a bunch of these spiderweb hammocks, and these are just all spiderweb bowls and other sorts of hanging things. This is a frisbee, which I just put here because I thought it kind of like fit with the other hammock things. Most of them are just set to have fabric thrown on, and then I can just hang them in the cage right away, which is nice. Moving down, we have my rat's medical bin. It has their scale, it has syringes, it has their whole first aid kit. And I also have their nebulizer right here. I haven't had to use that in a long time, thankfully, but I do keep it just in case. And then at the very bottom, we have my extra shelves. These are all my extra shelves, along with one of my spare hamster cages. And quick disclaimer, I know this is not large enough for a hamster. It's just one of those pet store hamster cages, if you know what I mean. It's not really a hamster cage. It's just like the commercial version of one. But anyways, it works really well as a travel cage for rats, or as a sick cage or quarantine cage. So I like to have these. I actually have two of them, and I like both of them because they're still in great shape after like 12 years at this point. So really nice to see that they've maintained that good quality. So then we have a few other things. I have my tire toy, which is just a dog toy that I use for my rats. I had this little hide. It's actually meant for reptiles, but I use it for my rats. Just kind of put in there. This is all my ceramic stuff, including some food bowls. Kind of, again, a miscellaneous area, although this stuff is mainly all ceramics. So it does have a bit of a theme to it. Now moving back, we have just a few things here that I use for training. This is a shelf that I use to teach the rats to push carts and skateboards on. This is something I put all my training supplies on, these two lids. And this step ladder is just for like changing the light bulb and stuff like that. That's not really for the rats. Moving up, we have my DIY Critter Nation mid-shelf high-rise pan, and I just made that for when I was watching some male rats and had to separate the cage. Then I have another of those commercial hamster cages up there, which is just great for keeping the rats in during like quick cage cleans and just any time I need to quickly get them out and don't want to take down the big cage, because this one is a lot lighter and easier to get out. And then next to that I have my rat's painting box. That is the box they do all their paintings in. It's just very easy to get down from there. Moving down, we have a bunch of agility items. Here we have their seesaw, their jumps. This is all their most common agility stuff, which is why it's out. This is actually their most common stuff. You can see all their popsicle sticks and hot glue made jumps. And then we have their two basketball hoops, some wiffle balls, some tunnels, and so forth. Moving down, we have their more general props. You can see that they just have a ton of rat training props. They're all out in the open, so I can just grab one easily. And this here is the second level of props. As you can tell, I have a lot of props. And if you ever wonder where my props are, yeah, they're just sitting out here on these shelves, so I can grab them at any time. Moving down, we have two more bowls. I keep these out because I use them during free range, along with these two little sweeper things that I use to sweep any bedding remnants out of the cage. And then I also have my two bedding bins. This one here has my crinkled paper. I need to refill that soon. And this one here has yesterday's news pelleted cat litter, which is what I use for my rats. It's the unscented version. So those are my bedding bins. And now moving to the side again, we have two more props. These are two of my lantern props that the rats learn to open like that and go inside. And then we have my purse prop, well actually my third purse prop, one of my drawer props, one of the rats' old houses. As you can see, that house has been through quite a lot. Moving down, we have my rat's main painting bin. It has most of their paintbrushes and stuff in it, along with their canvases and stuff they need to paint. And down here we have all their colors. I have a few that I keep out that I use most commonly, but all the other colors are in here in case I need to use them. And then next to that we have this bin here, which has a bunch of different colored tissue paper and wrapping paper, and that's how I like to theme my cages. And then down at the bottom we have a real miscellaneous section. This has some filters for my air purifier. It has some little photography props in it. And that's pretty much what the entire bin is. I'm not going to open it. It's a little bit crazy in there. Moving up here, we have my 16-inch wheel. This one is DIY. I made it myself, and I just haven't had to use it in the cage in a while. So it's just sitting out here on display. And then I have one of my larger foraging toys that I couldn't fit anywhere else, so it's just sitting right there. Moving down, we have some more foraging toys and shoe toys. You can see they're all in there. And I have my piano props under there. You can see one of my piano props. The other one is behind it. And you can kind of see it in the back. Yeah, there's the other piano prop. I don't like the second one, but the first one, the one up front, is really awesome. Moving down, we have my bin with extra Cheerios. We have my agility puppy training set, which is, well, it's a toy set, but it works perfectly for the rats. And then moving to the final layer, we have my 2 extra bins of Oxbow, because I get the 20-pound bags, and, well, one of those little bins on the other side is not enough to hold 20 pounds of Oxbow, and it takes my rats a while to go through it. Over here we have my volleyball net. This is a DIY prop, and this is all yogurt. It's not mold, I promise. And moving down, we have 3 of my carriers. One of them has a hole in it, but I still use it sometimes during free range. Then I have my 2 old basketball props. Probably get rid of those at some point, along with this other little basketball prop, which I don't need to open because I already have one of those open. And then at the bottom, I have more hammocks. This is where the rest of the hammocks are and all the rest of my felt is. And it just has a bunch of felt hammocks inside there. Moving down, we have one more foraging toy. This is another long one, which is why I have it in kind of a random spot. And I also have this little ball foraging toy. And then finally, we have what I call the rat swimming pool, because when it's hot, I will fill this up with some water, and I will put some peas and corn in there. And I will also fill it with some of these little stones. You can't really see it, but there are some stones in there that the rats like to play with. Moving to this last unit over here, we should start at the top. So at the top we have another cage. This one is not hardware cloth, so I can't really use it for the rats right now. But it is basically storing all my themed stuff for Christmas and Halloween. It just has a bunch of themed cage stuff in it. Right here I have some of these plastic bins that I use in the cage. And I also have these 2 cardboard boxes, which I actually use during free range, which is why they're kept out. This down here is my cardboard drawer. It just has all the miscellaneous cardboard that I use. And, well, as you can tell, I have quite a bit of it. Moving down, this here is my second bin cage. I will show you my first in a minute, but this one is my main one because I actually made it pretty well. And it just has a bunch of more boxes and foraging toys in it. Moving to the front, we have some more props. These are all just balls in here. I have a few props in here. And then we have my scissors and my food. This food is what I use during the week when I'm refilling the rats' food dishes. And the other food I use to refill this bin so I can use it during the week. And if you move up, you'll see that I have these 2 weights right here. These are used to prop up the iPad when filming. And then here we have my set of clickers. They're just little bottle caps that make a noise when you press them. And I use those as a clicker for my rats. And there is a few more props right here as well. So we have touched on everything but the bottom. So at the bottom we have the rest of my wicker props. These are all for just taking pictures of the rats. They're all basically small furniture that the rats can sit on and just look cute when we take pictures. And below that I have a few more bins with like excess tape in it, extra hot glue sticks and stuff like that. It's all just crafting supplies in there. Same with this one here. It just has a bunch of Velcro in it. And then this blue shoebox here has some toilet paper in it that I use for my rats to just chew up and nest with. Then I have this little basket, this wire basket, which I use for my rats to run in. It's basically just a trick prop. I don't use it for anything else. Then I have a few more Christmas themed treats that I just have out right now. I need to put these away. I was using them to make the cage all Christmassy, so I just had a bunch of them out. That is pretty much it. And yeah, this is all my rat stuff. As you can tell, I have a lot of rat stuff. I am honestly pretty happy with how this is organized. I know it doesn't look that organized, but I promise you it was so much worse in the past. And the nice thing about this is I do know where everything is. So even though it doesn't look super aesthetically pleasing, I am pretty happy at least knowing where everything is and being able to get stuff out pretty easily. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I only have one more thing, which I haven't mentioned, and that is my rat's cardboard fence thing. And usually that is just stored right in this area here. So I just have it right in front of that, and I can just slip past it very easily. I am thinking about seeing if I can store it behind the rat cage, but currently I haven't tried that. Anyways, that is the rat's closet. If you've ever felt bad about having too many things, you might feel a little bit better now, because I think it can definitely be said that I do have quite a lot of rat stuff. There's nothing else to really say about it. Anyways, that is the rat closet, and well, I should probably go ahead and stop this video now so I can take the rats out. And then we've been going so long that most of them have just gone to sleep because I'm just taking way too long to start free range. Hey, at least the cage looks organized, okay? that's better than nothing. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the brief glimpse into the rats area. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and well, I guess I would love to hear how you organize your stuff, especially if you've been collecting stuff over like a decade, because I have a lot of stuff and it's a little scary. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!